University of Colorado as the number 21 ranked Buffs welcome in Stanford and the number 3 Cardinal. What a top 25 matchup we're going to have. It will be hot indeed when you look at the Pac-12 standings. A very impactful final weekend. Of course, Stanford in the driver's seat with their 14-2 conference record. Utah, Colorado, those are their opponents this weekend that they're going to have to get past in the Mountain Time Zone. And of course, it's all marching towards Vegas and the Pac-12 tournament. We're so excited to be with you this afternoon. Jenny Kapner and Mary Murphy. I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up any better. We are talking about tournament caliber basketball to end the regular season.
That's exactly right. We're talking to the Stanford folks. That's what they said. This feels like the Pac-12 tournament has already started. And for Colorado, opportunity knocks. You can control your destiny. Can you win 2 games this weekend? It starts with Stanford today.
Well, they've had a couple big upsets against top 15 ranked schools already. But of course, you talk about big time players. That runs right through Stanford and Cameron.
Cameron Brink playing at a National Player of the Year level, and she's doing it all. Scoring, rebounding, as well as anybody in the country. You look at block shots, a dominating presence, second in the country, destroying people inside, assists, improved there, 3 against UCLA in the big win on Monday nights.
I think Quay Miller, of course, for the Buffs, she brings so much.
She really does. Having a breakout season, she has moved from good to great. The inside-outside threat, her three-point improvement has been dramatic, from 28% to 38% inside. She's a whirling dervish. The most important thing besides scoring, rebounding, and leading her team, she cannot afford any foul trouble at all this afternoon.
Well, she's going to have to lead them indeed. Buffs are going to have to step it up. They're without Frida Foreman today. She is out with an illness, so insert into the starting lineup Tamia Sadler. She's had 28 points in her last 2 games. They hope her shooting comes with her today against this tough Stanford defense. Of course, when you look at their 5, they've been there all season long, and that 2-headed monster of Cam Brink and Haley Jones. So you bring in, of course, experience, Hall of Famer, the winningest coach in college basketball. And we're talking about Tara Vanderveer. This feels like a bit of a homecoming. Her mother lived here, her brother lived here, got a chance with some family before the game today. But it is a business trip, and it is all about winning in her 37th season and winning another Pac-12 championship. They've done that so many years, year in and year out. And all they have to do today, Mary, is win, and they'll at least have a share of that title.
Exactly right, and that is where they expect themselves to be at the beginning of every single season. For Colorado, a great start is so important.
And Jones on Jones right away, a miss and a rebound for the Buffs. Look for them to run it. Look for them to be quick, make a lot of movement on the offensive end. They want to wear out this Stanford team early. They had that national Monday night game against UCLA that was a battle. And then, you know, you got to travel to altitude, all the things. To your point very early, like the schedule has favored the Buffs in being able to try and get Stanford, I guess, while they're down, so to speak, right now. Of course, they're deep. We know that.
And they struggled to score in the first quarter down at Stanford, just 8 points in that first quarter. So for Colorado, it's certainly on the defensive end, but offensively, they got to get it going.
Aggressive defense right there by Aaronette Vonleh and Quay Miller on the double team against Brink. There's a look at J.R. Payne, her 7th season as the Buffaloes head coach, and both her and Tara Vanderveer, one of 3 coaches in the Pac-12, along with Lynn Roberts of Utah. They're up for the Naismith Coach of the Year award, such a prestigious honor. Cameron Brink missing a long shot and an offensive board for the Cardinal.
Apollo did not play in the first meeting. She had injured the ankle against Utah.
Ball tipped, and Brink is already heading the other way. Thought it was going to be a turnover. Sticks with Stanford. Lapolo from 3. And Brink with a hustle, but they're going to call her out of bounds. So it will go the way of the Buffs. All right, Mary, take us through today's Director's Mortgage game plan.
For Stanford, take good care of the ball. This is a Colorado team that can rattle you. They are very physical. They will pressure out and rebound, something Stanford does a very good job of. Colorado, Miller and Vonleh cannot afford foul trouble, and no single-digit quarters, just consistent scoring throughout this ballgame. No scoring droughts.
Aaronette Vonleh fouled out of their last game against Arizona, and that's been trouble for her really all season long. So it's about, you know, playing aggressive but knowing your limitations. And right away, Sadler getting her first opportunity. Vonleh, there's a great rebound, and it sticks with the Buffs. They'll pass around the perimeter. Quay Miller heading to her left.
To your point, Sadler could have taken that open shot, instead trying to work at the clock a little bit.
Sadler with the drive and dish to the corner. Jones no good. And a tip towards Stanford.
Lauren Betts on the floor early.
Oh, nice job by Sherrod. What a hustle. She keeps it in bounds, and Sadler will have it the other way.
Nice defense by Hannah Jump to force the U-turn by Sadler.
Sherrod missing short and an offensive board. So far, no score, and we're 2.5 minutes into the contest.
I would say that Colorado's fine with that.
Play inside. And she gets the first bucket of the game.
You know, that's a big bucket. Against Arizona, those kind of shots were not going down for Quay Miller.
Polo found herself in a different role against UCLA. They were able to put Haley Jones more at the point and give her that shooting ability, and you're kind of seeing a little bit of a look at that early here. Lauren Betts with the move. And a miss for the Colorado native. Glad to be home. The freshman who's had such an outstanding season so far with Stanford.
Blocked by Jones. Nice strong inside presence so far for Colorado. Fran Believi will be checking in. Wett will be checking in. Beautiful.
Wow. Great baseline move.
Beautiful pass.
Beautiful pass as well. 4-0 Buffs up, and you're right, substitutes coming in. They're going to rotate them. And grab something, and the ball just ends up with Quay Miller and now Sherrod. Von Lay and Sherrod. Jones wide open underneath, and she gets the roll. She's at 4. She only had 3 in their last game against Arizona.
And the change of pace by Sherrod, if she does that more often, that result's going to happen. Just a beautiful job of the crossover, finding her teammate.
You see the energy of the Buffs right away. They know the opportunity that they have to take advantage of right now. Inside out's the name of the game for Stanford. Betts will kick it to Lopolo back inside.
Great job defensively. They've just walled off that inside area. And Iriafen and Betts cannot find an opening. Sherrod, a little change of pace, misdirection, beautiful lead. Great job by Jones, just working to stay open.
Fran Believi, the senior, in for Tara Vanderveer from Centennial, Colorado, Regis Jesuit High School product. And a senior, you know, they just celebrated senior night. There's so many emotions that go into those final weeks as a college basketball player when it's all said and done.
Whitaker on the floor.
Van Miller gets it up with a shot clock winding down, bounces around and ends up with Believi as a rebound.
Navarre on the floor for Stanford.
And an off-ball whistle.
Yeah, they're going to get a hand check. I mean, you would expect some of those with Colorado because they're just so aggressive in their man-to-man defense. As Eminopu enters the game, Hannah Jump will sit Stanford early. We're all counting, aren't we?
Nine players, right? How many bench players? 9 in total, and another quick foul. So that's the second on Whitaker right away in foul trouble now. That leads us to a break and a Buffs lead, 6-0. Stanford yet to score in Boulder. I hope to see that number and that total continue. Great game plan for CU out of the gate, and they're looking at the last foul from Whitaker. She picked up 2 quick ones, and that was one of your keys, Mary. You can't get in foul trouble.
That's exactly right, because you can't, if Whitaker gets into deep foul trouble, then it really creates problems down the line. And they are double checking that foul, because Vonleh needs that break, and you can see they called that one on Whitaker.
Now the refs gathering right now after checking the monitor. Melissa Barlow, Kyle Bacon, Teresa Turner, the refereeing crew here in Boulder today.
I have to say I'm not surprised by the start from Colorado. This is what has to happen. They must dominate early. Stanford has not scored. They're 0 for 7 from the floor. They've got a turnover. This is a team that played Monday night on ESPN when they beat UCLA. had an off day Tuesday, had a practice yesterday for 2 hours at Maples, and then flew in. We all in the Colorado area know what that weather was like yesterday. Arrived at the hotel about 8.
Yeah, it's been brutal. They're going to call that a common foul, so no extracurriculars there. Talk about 6 out of the last 8 games for Stanford coming on the road. I mean, that is a challenge in and of itself, but you're right, to end in altitude here in the mountain time zone and to have 2 schools that not only are ranked but are fighting for better seeding. They all have byes in the Pac-12 tournament, but man, for Colorado, a big difference between seeds 4 and 2, and there's another foul. They're going to call that.
They got it on the bar.
Yep. So India Navarre picking up her first for Stanford. Also look to capitalize off a turnover here.
Manopu on Sherrod.
Kendall driving dish underneath, and nice stuff by Cam Brink. That's what she does best.
Just a beautiful job. Runs the floor. Another block by Jones. She's been active defensively.
She can feel her time winding down. She'll be honored on Saturday here. The lone senior. There's plenty of seniors for J.R. Payne, but a couple of them look like they're going to come back or haven't decided yet. That ball flying out of bounds and in the hands of Sherrod. She sees Miller, wide open lane, and the late foul call.
And that's a great decision by Miller. The challenge. She's got Cameron Brink just bearing down on her. You know what's coming. And she says, all right, party on. Pass ahead by Sherrod, and Miller says, bring it. And you get into the body of Cam Brink, and you create the contact. In that situation, you just have to be smart. If you're going to go and make sure you get into the body. Just don't show the ball, because that thing's coming right back at you or getting flung into the stands.
Quay Miller makes her first of 2. She hit 1,000 career points against USC earlier this year, and she's really been the one that's kind of in the heart and soul of this team.
Yeah, she's got a personality that just is like a magnet for others, but at the same time, when she gets serious, everybody gets serious.
4 points for Quay Miller and an 8-0 Buffs lead.
Brink will sit. Ashton Prechter will come in from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
3 Coloradoans on the Stanford roster. All would love nothing more than a win in front of their family and friends here in Boulder today, but huge deficit early.
Prechter could knock down 3s, almost pick and pops.
Inside. And a miss by Eminopu. There's Prechtel with the rebound. Can't get the putback to her Colorado buddy on the other side. And another Stanford offensive rebound. They are taking the shots, Mary, and just can't get them to fall. Here's Sherrod on the other end. And a finish. It's 10-0 Buffs.
It's a tough time to make this game with a 3 o'clock start here in Boulder, but this crowd is involved early. Pressure by Colorado.
The home crowd looking for a nice double dip today. The men will play USC later tonight in a meaningful men's Pac-12 game. 0 for 13. That's what the Cardinal are from the field. And that ball's out of bounds on Weta. But they're going to call it off of Haley Jones.
The thing is, for Colorado, while it's going well, you need to push and you need to just keep piling it on and come down and score every single time, because at some point Stanford is going to wake up and the basket's going to start falling for them.
Lapolo back in, Brink back in, and Dimitri checking in as well.
Dimitri's minutes have been up. Again, she's a great pick and popper. She can put it on the floor, an outstanding defender.
I like to call her accolades. Say she was a McDonald's All-American, but weren't they all at Stanford? Just about every one of them. Vonleh back to Weta. She'll go to her left, passing it off to Miller in the corner. She likes that spot. Missing, and Jada Wynn in the game, trying to fight for a board, can't get it. Haley Jones will march it down for Stanford.
This is where Haley Jones is such a difference maker. Her ability to just create, come down, create contact, and sort of just control the pace of this thing and just bring a little momentum back their way.
Jada Wynn gets the foul. Sherrod will get a break. She's been pushing it hard.
Oh, tough pass.
Yeah, Brink couldn't handle it. The Buffs will come up with another turnover. Weta behind her back, stop and pop at the line. She gets her own board, why not? There's Wynn for three, got it.
What does Wynn do best?
Count them up. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely. 37% shooter from the field, 35% from three, and more substitutions coming. 13-0, Mary. I don't think this is what we were expecting.
Nope, but a great old board off the miss from Weta, gets it on her own and kicks it out, and Wynn. I understand Jody Wynn's in the building somewhere. Her mom, former coach at Washington, she's got to be up and yelling some things as well.
Got that Derek, an assistant at UC Irvine. Basketball family. Polo backing it out. Dimitri inside the Brink. The Polo faked it, drive. They just cannot get anything going at all.
Sometimes when you're playing offense, it feels like there's 6 people out there defensively. Right now, the way Colorado is playing defense and flying around, that's exactly how it feels. No open shots, just congestion, challenges. Colorado fired up.
Another personal foul. Wynn has 2. Whitaker with 2, Wynn with 2. To your point earlier, the bench. It's not good news for the depth of it for CU.
Another turnover, number 5 for Stanford. A couple years ago, they had 13 turnovers in the first quarter.
Wow. CU's being disrupted, that's for sure, on the defensive end, turning it into points on the offensive end, missing there.
There is a minute 16 left in this quarter, and Stanford has not scored. That doesn't even seem real.
It doesn't. So Sherrod will check back in. Weta will take a seat. And Haley Jones, if anyone's going to change that score from a donut to at least a number, she's a 75% free throw shooter, and she does it. So a minute 14 left on the clock, and that's the very first point for Stanford here in the first corner, and it came off a free throw.
That would have been a national story. Don't score for almost 9 minutes, but this Colorado squad with only an 11-point lead.
Bernette Von Lay. Looking for Sherrod, she got her. He'll set the pick. Charging in a break, and she turns it over with not a crisp pass.
Von Lay's got to just take it easy there.
Dimitri had a wide open catch and shoot, left it short. Here comes Sadler.
Good decision. This is what you were talking about at the top. Like, you get into this a little faster, right?
Yeah, Sherrod will take the shot and bring through the board. Can Stanford make a field goal before the end of the quarter?
Answer is
yes. Dimitri got it. That was on your bingo card. You win. And a late foul call, so 3 seconds to go. It'll stop the clock. Now what you want there on the other end.
Brooke Dimitri is so skilled. Wide open, you can see the bench pointing. Cover her, cover her. Everyone's so aware of where Hannah Jump is. You must be aware of where Brooke Dimitri is as well.
Erie Offen checks in for Cameron Brink, who's now in foul trouble. She has 2.
So the chess match has commenced as far as foul trouble.
Sadler will take the last shot for the Buffs as the quarter expires, and what a big lead that the Buffs have built. They're up 13-5. Stanford finally getting a bucket before the quarter was over. In the last 10 meetings have been decided by single digits, 2 of those in in overtime, and it looks like we're going to have ourselves a ball game here again today.
That's why we talk about the rivalry between, it almost feels like Oregon State, or UW, Washington State, or the LA schools, whatever, Cal, Stanford. It's just intense. In 20, it was Kiana Williams hitting that half-court shot. And last year, Stanford survived 13 first-quarter turnovers.
And there's a turnover right there. Sadler couldn't get in the hands of Miller, so Stanford will have the first opportunity here in the second quarter to score. Dimitri has the lone field goal for the Cardinal right now. Jones made a couple free throws, and that's how they got to 5. Can't get that to roll. And Emma Nopu, that'll go off the backboard and out of bounds. So let's take a look at this first quarter. Mary, when you dive into it, it's very clear. CU was shooting the ball, not at that great at 31%, but they just couldn't buy a bucket for Stanford. They finally picked up the rebounding now.
I mean, everything goes towards Colorado, but yet Stanford probably their worst quarter in like forever, and they're only down 8. That is not good news for Colorado.
We had that USC-Stanford game last week, and it felt like the whole time, oh, Stanford's up big. Well, they weren't, right? They had some scoring droughts that really came to bite them in terms of letting the Trojans get back in that game. It ended up being a 3-point win for them. Sadler has 2 on the shot clock. And they're far out of bounds. So either way, a turnover.
Tamia putting the ball on the floor, and just there's nowhere to go. And when she picks it up, you're buried down there, and it's just a turnover waiting to happen. Making great decisions against Stanford, getting shots every time down the floor is so important.
Polo will bring the ball up. Stanford trying to get something going. Haley Jones would be a person to do that. She'll stop the pop, but illegal screen. So Iriafen picking up her first.
Lauren Betts will check in, and you can feel Stanford, a couple of moving screens, anxious. Try to just free up your shooters, free up your teammates coming off a handoff. Just try to get something going.
A couple Colorado kids on the floor. I talked to Kendall Wetta earlier today. She went to Valor, and of course they played Grandview Lots, which is the school Lauren Betts went to. She said she was hurt a bunch, but just watching her, I mean, 6'7", she brings a presence to the court, but she was really impressed with how in college she's developed more of a mid-range game. It's neat when you can follow people you used to compete against in high school, and now you're competing against each other at the collegiate level. Nice movement. Wow, Jones is feeling it today.
That is a spectacular take, and the challenge.
10-point lead again for the Buffs. 15-5. Dimitri for 3. Missing, and a weak side rebound for Sherrod. Can she do it again? Jones for 3. Nope. And it's going to go to Stanford.
Tiana Jones puts it on the floor. Decisive attack, 6'7", just fiercely goes right by it. Kisses it off the backboard. It's a big-time move. Love that angle.
Hannah Jump waiting to check in for Stanford. Gotta keep those bodies fresh. They've been playing just about everyone on the bench. Ball bouncing around like pinball, and of course the 6'7" Betts comes up with it.
Just need better spacing if you're trying to get Lauren Betts the ball down low. Dribbling right to her, not working. Shot clock again.
Look, contesting Dimitri.
Get Tiana Jones over the back. You can see her reaction.
Body language says it.
Yeah.
Full
Respectfully.
frustration. Yeah, respectfully.
Those are the kind of fouls for Colorado. They're aggressive enough. Don't go over the back. Don't create extra contact and just pile up the fouls that way.
Jump and bounce the ball after she came off the bench. Dimitri missing, and it's got to play Miller from behind.
That looked like a carry a little bit.
Baseline for Wetta. She leaves it short, but a whistle.
And a jump with the grab. Boy, Colorado just fearless on these drives. Wetta, little misdirection. She's kind of in trouble, but good job just finding some space. Such a smart player.
CU's been ranked now for the last 5 weeks, but they have not lost their underdog mentality. And that's very clear throughout the course of the season. They are so good here at the CU Event Center, 11-1 at home. They've had some really big wins against ranked opponents in the Pac-12.
The difference for Colorado, though, they can still have their chip on the shoulder, but people are gunning for them now. They are not surprising anybody.
Here comes Weta. She'll pull it out. Run around to Jones. Not Vonleh. She's been pretty quiet so far in this game. Weta, long range. Jones will slow it up, and that's not the whistle you want.
So the over the back by Jones, that foul by Weta there, it's not getting you anything. It's just piling up some fouls, and that's the last thing Colorado needs.
Vonleh to the bench, insert Charlotte Whitaker, and speaking of fouls, she has 2.
Toscana comes into the game for Stanford, so now 11 players have taken the floor.
You almost looked like, please don't be another foul, right?
Or the read and the react offensively, the help sliding in, but having your body at a great angle and just being able to react to that drive, spectacular.
It's 9 turnovers for Stanford now. CU's had 7 points so far off those turnovers.
Stanford with 10 offensive boards, they're +7 in that category.
Sherrod thought about it, and now she drives up to the corner. Jones keeps it going around.
Plays like, give me a touch.
5 on the shot clock. Jones likes her touches so far and capitalizes again, this time from 3. She has 9 on the day.
Yeah, she is playing great. 4 of 6. Efficient.
14-point deficit for the Cardinal. Baseline drive, it's out of bounds. On Whitaker, they actually call a foul on Whitaker, so that's going to be number 3.
And that's a tough call on Whitaker. It looks like she was in the stance just trying to drive her out of bounds, and instead she gets tagged with that 3rd foul. Drive, drive, drive. Here comes Sherrod, the kick out. Lots of time to line it up and knock it down by Tiana Jones.
I love that for Tiana Jones, too. I talked to her a little bit after shoot-around today, and you could tell she was wearing those emotions. Like, this is it for her college basketball career. She's like, I've tried to let it all soak in, but she hasn't always been the points contributor, and there, finally, some more points here in the second quarter coming from Hannah Jump, who didn't have any points in her last game. First points of the second quarter here for the Cardinals. They only have 2 field goals made. And Vonleh can't get the ball.
Did everything right except have that shot go in. The challenge, the early position.
Stanford just 2 for 22 from the field.
I think right now the Stanford ops person is calling a local coffee shop and said, we need a couple tanks of coffee. We need to wake up at halftime.
Or get that beet juice going, right? For the altitude. Nice move from Haley Jones, and she's just going to stay after it. That's what she does. That's her game, and now she has 4.
Beautiful job on the ISO with her back to the basket.
11-point advantage under the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter for the Buffs. You can tell by Vonleh's body language, a little frustrated. She's not getting fed inside. She's trying to get positioning. And there's her opportunity on the shot, missing.
Sherrod is just getting after it.
Tenacious indeed. There's a hustle for a rebound and a whistle. They're going to call it on Haley Jones. That'll be her first. Back and forth here at the CU Event Center, 19-10. Buffs will lead.
Coming up, more women's hoops. The number 8 Utes look to stay red hot as they host the Golden Bears. Next on Pac-12 Network.
that right now. I told Mary to pack some gloves and maybe some hand warmers. Might need them inside too. It's in the single digits, but hot inside here for the CU Buffs. They're up 19-10 over Stanford. How about Sadler getting the start today? This is Jones, and she is just taking advantage of every single opportunity at every single turn of the corner.
I just love the way she's playing. 9 points already. That's as many she's had over the last 5 games. That's how into it and aggressive and taking it to the bucket Tiana Jones is in this ball game.
It's her 75th game as a CU Buff, 113th collegiate game.
I'm surprised Colorado's not trying to get Vonleh some touches, because Brink's got those 2 personal fouls. She got him in the first quarter, and you need to take advantage, because when Brink's back, it's going to just get shut down a lot more inside.
She had the ball there. They called it a jump ball. As Iriafen got her hands on it, and it'll go with the Cardinal.
It was a 14-point lead at 19-5, and since then it's a 5-0 run by Stanford. And a bucket here, and it feels like a whole new ball game.
It really does. And as hot as CU was in the first quarter, it's gone a little colder here.
Travel.
That was good defense by Vonleh.
Really was, because she didn't move. Iriafen's trying to get her to give me some more space. Let me get a better angle, and she doesn't, and she travels.
And she didn't draw a foul. You know, the foul trouble has been huge for her, so she's learning how to be aggressive within her zone. It's part of her development. Shot for 3. What a fight.
Tremendous effort by Iriafen.
There is that foul, the first foul for Aaronette Vonleh that she'll pick up.
Shots and miss. Iriafen's got the inside position. Goes to the floor. And Vonleh, again, you've got to let that go. That is not worth a foul.
CU scoring drought, now over 2 minutes and 30 seconds here as we're winding towards the 3-minute mark left in the half. Iriafen goes right at Vonleh, this time over her, and that's long. Sherrod Miller shot about her 3.
Good job by Dimitri not allowing Quay to pull the trigger on the 3. Win on the floor.
Clock at 6. The up and in, no good for Sadler. And nice hustle there. Nice hustle back by Iriafen. She's been all over the floor and her hands all over the ball.
Look, at lesson number 1, when you play Colorado, you go after the ball with 2 hands. Because if it's not 100% with 2 hands, the Buffs are going to come away with it. Ball's on the floor, 1 hand by Iriafen, and here comes Sherrod, says, give me it.
Buffs average close to 10 steals per game. Always looking for the rock. Again, if you're just joining us, Frida Foreman out with an illness today, so she was not in the starting lineup. And Vonleh finally getting points here in the second quarter on the turn and shoot.
Cameron Brink is on the floor. That shot probably doesn't happen, so great job taking advantage.
You know the personnel you're going up against. 21-10 CU. Haley Jones with the drive. Beautiful. That's what she does. Just attack. She was looking for the foul, though.
Creative while being aggressive. Vonleh looking for it inside.
Thank you. That's going to be a foul on Fran Belibi.
Haley Jones' ability to see her size it up. Comes off that great screen by Fran Belibi. Just kind of feels a little bit of contact on that rub and elevates and puts it in. One of the things that makes her great.
She's practical checking in, so getting a little more size for Stanford again. And Cameron Brink in foul trouble. She has 2 sitting on the bench.
Yep, giving her the shot.
She'll take it. Catch and shoot, no roll.
Pretty good Fran Belibi. Not just Quay Miller being active. As soon as the shot's released, she's, but where can I go? Where can I go? Hunting an offensive rebound.
It's 2 now for Belibi.
The shot goes up, and you can see the inside position. Quay's like almost boxing out.
Going 3 for 3 on the day. Free throws.
Quay Miller, the transfer from Washington, got herself in better shape, just really got focused on what she needed to do in the classroom and on the floor, and the results are just right out there. She is so improved.
This is the second. Hard to believe she's the only Buff who has started every single game this year for J.R. Payne. We haven't had too many switches around the starting lineup, but
offensive foul on Sadler on the screen. A lot of moving screens so far in this first half. Such a waste of a foul and an offensive possession. Just get yourself set and let the ball handler do the work.
And a board for Stanford. Offensive boards, they've been good at them today. And they turn them into points. They do behind Hannah Jump.
Great job by Fran Belibi and great movement by Hannah Jump. Jump 2 for 2 from 3.
Bonlay.
How about the pass from Quay Miller?
Beautiful connection. Single-digit lead.
Who knew a low-scoring game could be exciting?
Very exciting. Crowd's into it. Down to halftime. 43 seconds to go. Three-point attempt and good for Stanford. So they're getting right back in this. Bozgana with the make.
And the Stanford bench up and fired up.
All of a sudden, it's a 6-point game. Much different than that 13-0 run Colorado had to start. Buffs slowing it down. Not much time separates game clock, shot clock, but they'll use it.
It's Quay Miller.
The trying to shoot, she got stuffed. Levy says, not today.
She sends that back to Centennial.
Yeah. A gift for friends from Regis Jesuit High School. We're going to get the ball knocked out. She's going to have to shoot it. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. Just 0.2 of a second. Ball in bounds and clock will expire. So Stanford with a much better second quarter showing. They outscored the Buffs 13-11 in those 10 minutes, but it was Colorado. They came out fast, they came out hard, they came out making shots, and they have a 6-point lead here heading into half. It's time for our Zayo Connection and J.R. Payne joining us. Coach, you guys got off to a very fast start. How proud are you the way that they were able to handle that and then just get by there in the second quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we want to play fast all the time. So I guess I'm proud of us doing what we're supposed to do. We want to play like that. It's hard to sustain that type of pace. It was pretty fast early, especially down a player. But yeah, we're doing a good job. We just have to keep them off the glass, and I think that will help, definitely.
Coach, offensive adjustments just to give yourself some more open looks. What do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we're getting pretty good looks, but when we stall and when we slow down a little bit towards the end of the clock, that usually doesn't work very well for us.
All right, Coach, best of luck in the second half. Thanks for your time.
Well, we got a good one in Boulder. Fast start for Colorado and the Buffs. 10 of their 24 points in the first half coming off turnovers. Their Jalen Sherrod is finishing off up 6 on Stanford as we welcome you to the Pac-12 Halftime Report. Angela Taylor, Ashley Adamson with you. Stanford, they did not have a shoot-around this morning. They got in late to Boulder last night, so no shoot-around, and it kind of showed in the early going. But what has Colorado been doing to knock them off?
Colorado's defense is one of the most aggressive defensive systems in the Pac-12, and they've just been physical with the Stanford team. Stanford has 11 offensive rebounds. 11 of their 23 total rebounds are on the offensive end, and they have not been able to convert those. late in the second quarter, they started to hit some three-pointers, and it is amazing how the three-point shot will get you right back into the ball game.
And that is exactly what it did. They're shooting 40% from three, 4 of 10 beyond the arc. Let's check out our TaxAct performance update. And another reason that Colorado has been doing so well, not only are they getting the ball off turnover, but points in the paint has been a big difference.
Yeah, 14 to 4 points in the paint for this Colorado team. They're attacking it in a variety of ways. They're getting the ball in the low block. They're penetrating off the dribble and then off the turnovers. To your point earlier, they're getting out in transition and getting some easy layups. If they can continue to do that, that will be a big difference in this game. For Stanford, they need to familiarize themselves with the rims. You get the sense that they'll probably start to settle down. Tara cannot be happy with their effort in the first half, and it literally is just about effort. Right now, Colorado wants this game much more than Stanford looks like they want it.
I'm glad I'm hanging out with you here instead of in the Stanford locker room, because I'm sure Tara is delivering a message that has one of your former players is coming across loud and clear. So we'll see if they can get it going in the second half, but we got a good one. See last weekend. So here is where we're looking for the latest bracketology. Charlie Crean, Utah projected as a 2 seed. One of 7 Pac-12 teams safely in the field. Oregon, the first 4 out. And how about Washington, the next 4 out? The Huskies have been red hot to close out the regular season. Colorado sitting there projected as a 5 seed. And boy, oh boy, how big of a deal would it be if they could get this win against Stanford, make a little bit of noise in Vegas, and potentially be able to be one of those top 16 teams and host.
This second half for Colorado is going to be extremely important because of that reason. If they can pull out this win and then get 2 wins this weekend heading into the Pac-12 tournament, get a couple of upsets in the Pac-12 tournament, they may be able to get one of those top 4 seeds in the NCAA tournament. Right now, you're playing for getting into the tournament, but seeding matters. Who your matchups are going to be in the tournament also matters. So if you're Colorado, it's in your hands right now.
And you know that Colorado, we know how good they are at home, 11-1 in Boulder this season. Arizona also sitting there at a number 5. They have a chance to move up, and we know what McHale is like when Adia Barnes is coaching.
Yeah, Adia Barnes just talked about if she has a chance to host a home game for the NCAA tournament, that'll make a huge difference. Both Colorado and Arizona are those teams. This is an important weekend. I think we say this every weekend. Every game in the Pac-12 is important, but for those teams that are on the fence trying to get one of those top 4 seeds, incredibly important.
Arizona and UCLA, the 2 teams still battling for that last bye in Las Vegas. The top 3 are all, but yeah, this already feels like a tournament game between Stanford and Colorado. A low-scoring first half in Boulder as the Buffs hold the card to 18 first-half points. We'll see if you can get it going in a second.
Back at the CU Event Center at halftime, the Buffaloes run a 13-0 run to start this game. They hold a 6-point advantage over Stanford, who is 0-2 when trailing at the half this season. Here's been the woes for them so far through 20 minutes of play. First half points well below their season average of 38.9. Field goal percentage of shooting just 21% from the field. They've already committed 10 turnovers. They average 13.2 a game on the season. 24-18. We will hear from Coach Vanderveer when we return. Welcome back. Time now for our Zayo Connection. Tara Vanderveer joining us, Stanford's head coach. After a quick, fast-paced back and forth there in the first half, what's kind of been the message at halftime to make those adjustments here in the second?
We need to play a lot better, and I think that we can. I think it's extremely physical. We have to keep battling in there. Hannah hit some big shots. I thought Elena came in and gave us some good minutes. We need to adjust to the game and just play together, move the ball, and get better shots. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Jenny Kavner, Mary Murphy, back with you here at the CU Event Center. I mean, the Buffs, they have come out and made their statement. They're trying to take advantage of their opportunity here against Stanford, who played just Monday night. They did that with a fast-paced game. They also did it with points in the paint. Their advantage, 14-4 for Stanford.
Well, Cameron Brink only played 7 minutes of the first half, so that rim protection, that paint protection was not out there. And certainly Colorado took advantage, as you could see them just scoring at will in the paint.
Yeah, Cameron Brink had foul trouble too for her. As you mentioned, Mary, she was on the bench. Field goal percentage, it was ugly in the first quarter. There's no doubt about that. They had 1 field goal out of 16 attempts. They had 21% shooting in the first half compared to the 32% for CU. Again, not great shooting for CU either, but they were able to get that quick start and just hold on. You were talking about the advantage of turnovers, the advantage of second chance points. That's where CU has really allowed their opportunity to shine.
Yeah, they're plus 12 over Stanford in that first half. Points off turnovers and second chance points. And Stanford, 10 turnovers. You saw the number. They averaged 13 a game. That number is big for Stanford. They must do a much better job. But to be down 6 as poorly as Stanford played with Cameron Brink on the bench, this CU team, if they're looking for the upset, they need to come out with that same energy they started the ballgame with.
CU on the road against the Arizona schools. They scored just 42 points at Arizona last Sunday. That was the lowest point total they had in their first loss in the month of February. So they were ready for a vengeance today. And for Stanford now, it's about coming out strong in the third quarter, down 6.
Fran Believe starts the second half instead of Kiki Uriafin.
Jump out to Jones, now Brink. Good passing catch with 2 on the shot clock, no whistle. She gets it up in time, but no good.
That happened a lot in the first half. Stanford with the shot clock running down, trying to create some offense. Sadler was an 0-for in the first half. She needs to come out confidently and look to score. Got to pick up those points that Frida will not be able to provide with the illness back at the apartment. Watching the game, just the worst possible experience.
Brink got stripped away there. A nice save by Sherrod.
Just wait till she brings it down and then go get it.
Brink on Way Miller. She stuffs her on the reverse.
So what's Quay thinking there? She wanted the ball. She directed traffic. She's saying, I'm going to get Cam Brink her third personal foul. The pass ahead. Brink brings it down. Sherrod says, thank you very much.
Sherrod will gather it in with 8 on the shot clock.
Where they had the mismatch, they had the switch out, and they just didn't recognize it. Sherrod needed to pull that thing back out and take advantage.
Hello will bring it up for the Cardinal.
All 6 of her points in that first half, in that second quarter, excuse me.
I say she gave him a huge energy boost, got her a rebound there, and misses that as well. Sherrod will pull it back out. We're not seeing as quick of a pace from Colorado as we saw out of the jump. Vonleh missing there.
Can you see the Brink effect? It's back.
It's a huge effect.
It sure is.
She has the most blocks in Stanford history and the 4th most in Pac-12 history. She's long, she's lean, and she's mean underneath. Jones underneath. Speaking of mismatch, Sherrod had a hand on it. And look at that. Fran Believe coming up with a rebound and putback.
Beautiful job just camping out on that weak side. Anticipate the miss, put it away. We're going to get Brink for the third. And this is where spacing, patience, let the ISO get created. Believe you can see all the work she does early. She's in perfect position, puts it right back up for 2.
Not wasting any time. Bring back to the bench. Dimitri in as well as Lauren Betts.
Played it beautifully. Brink just playing some pressure, too much pressure, and they call the foul. But you need the spacing, you need the ISO to make that happen. Well done, Colorado.
Say CU has the upper hand with Brink on the bench, but all of a sudden you insert the bench and it's more size, right? Lauren Betts, all 6'7" of her, coming in. One of the deepest and tallest benches around. There's a big miss from Quay Miller. Vonleh picks it up, just 1 on the shot clock though. Sadler puts it up. They're going to say shot clock violation, doesn't get it up in time. Some of that awareness, right, for Vonleh. You're talking about being a sophomore here at CU. She was a freshman at Arizona last year, but not a lot of minutes, not a lot of playing time. So there's still been that learning curve of being on the floor as a starter, the amount of minutes, the basketball IQ and awareness. She has the size, she has the skill, right? And she's putting it all together.
The key thing for post players, your teammates have to help you with spacing and good passing inside.
Jones with a spin move and one.
And sometimes it feels like an impossible shot because that spin is right into the help, and Quay Miller was right there. And the bench for Stanford fired up. Let's watch an All-American go to work. Here's the spin, here's the help. Just get it up and let the rim of the backboard give you an assist.
Foul goes on Sherrod. That's her second. Now some conversation with the refs happening.
And a jump. Trying to help with the communication.
So they called the jumper good by Jones.
The foul is after the shot.
They have changed that since.
So really, worst case scenario for J.R. Payne, because now another possession for Stanford.
Dimitri with the inbounds. They'll get it back in the hands of Jones. There's an open look for Dimitri from three.
Fran Bolivia at weak side.
Feast on the boards. Kicks it back out to Haley Jones. And a jump. And just like that, that's the first lead for Stanford, coming all the way back in this 25-24.
And look at the emotion from the Cardinal. All the way back, down big, and Hannah Jump says, it's jump time. Stanford with the lead.
In a brand new ball game here at the CU Event Center in the third quarter, Stanford took their very first lead, and it happened really off a 5-point possession play. It all started with Haley Jones in a bucket.
So she gets fouled there after the shot. So you got 2 points, Stanford. We said worst case scenario, because now possession Stanford. And what happens? A 3-ball. So a 5-point play. If they had called the foul on Haley, it would have been a free throw and maybe a 3-point play, but really just worked out as poorly as it could have for Colorado.
Hannah Jump perfect 3 for 3 from 3-point range. She has 9 on the day. That leads the Cardinal. And all of a sudden they have the lead in this game. If you're J.R. Payne, what's the message coming out of that timeout, Mary?
You just got to get back to what got you here. Take advantage. There is no Cameron Brink. All that shot block, all that rebound, all that scoring.
It's been a 10-0 run for Stanford going back to the end of the second quarter. 1 on the shot clock, that's tipped, and it's going to be a violation.
Oh,
Fran Bolivia doing it.
I was looking for a dunk.
You were ready for it.
I was ready, Fran Bolivia, in Colorado.
She made history in Colorado, the first high school female to dunk in a game. That happened back in 2018. And as she says, I want to be known more than just the dunk queen, right? And then she has a little flashback to her Regis Jesuit high school days. She made a name for herself in Colorado on the basketball court. There it is, Mary. You wanted to see it. You got your dunk. Flashback style. Stanford into their offense. Jones dribble drive. And a whistle underneath. They're going to call it on Quay Miller.
Again, the challenge on the O boards. Betts gets inside position, and you just cannot give up inside position to the offense. And Colorado is getting hurt bad by that.
Fresh 20 on the shot clock. There was the full miss by Betts, but she ends up with the ball again, and Haley Jones will back it out.
15 O boards for the Cardinal. Shot clock.
Down to 3, Dimitri goes. And Lauren Betts had position for an offensive board, and now it's a fight. Jada Wynn getting in there, and they're going to call a foul on Dimitri. We heard from Tara Vanderveer at the half. It's been a physical game. We did not expect that to slow down at all here in the second half.
Yeah, they could have called that on Dimitri. They could have called that on Betts.
Betts did pick up the foul.
It's Quay time. She's to have a dominant offensive personality.
Wide open. Kendall Wetta underneath leaves it short. She'll put a little defensive pressure on jump.
We talked about scoring droughts as far as Colorado goes, and they're in one, and they cannot afford droughts. Believe wide open.
Wide open, catch and shoot. Good finish.
So the pass comes into Betts. Hard double. She swings it. Beautiful pass for Fran. Easy bucket inside.
Fran with 4 to add to her 4 rebounds and a couple of blocks. Buffs have yet to score in the third quarter. Change that by Kendall Wetta.
Make it easy. Come off that screen. You're open. Take the shot.
Stanford still up by 1. Inside, Lauren Betts, good inside position and making it look easy off the feed.
When the dribble hit half court, Betts was posted up on Quay Miller, and that was the play all along.
And a foul on the other end. Haley Jones is going to pick up her second. When you come home, you want to show off, and that's what Lauren Betts is doing right now, grabbing that nice position and giving the Stanford Cardinal a lead, 29-26.
In the country.
After the foul on Jones, Sherrod shooting free throws coming out of the timeout.
What we're certainly seeing in this game is how important Hannah Jump is to the success of Stanford over the weekend against the LA schools. 6 points total. That's how well they defended her. Already today, 3 of 3 from distance. She has really helped float the boat for Stanford till others got involved.
Huge free throws by Sherrod to stay in this. They're down 1 to Stanford. Stanford had a 12-0 run to take the lead. There's a turnover. Vonleh got a hand in. Now she's running the floor. She was looking for the pass. Sherrod almost cut her off, but she'll take the bucket. And I think Aaronette Vonleh will gladly let her.
And she was escorting her down the floor. This is exactly what J.R. Payne talked about at halftime. Pace, pace, pace. Push it.
So CU back on top here. Time ticking down in the third quarter. Good straight up defense by Miller. Goes out though and will stay with Stanford. Fran Believi's getting her opportunities with Cam Brink on the bench.
Outstanding defense by Vonleh. The push ahead. Sadler to Sherrod. Get out and run. Take advantage of the turnovers. Brink's going to check back in.
Foul, so Sherrod.
And I like the call because Sherrod's going to push that envelope, right? She's going to get physical. If the refs let her do it, she's just going to take it up a notch and just see how far she can go.
3 for Jalen Sherrod.
That bucket by Colorado so important to seize back the lead and just get the momentum just at least shifting back your direction.
So Sherrod will head to the bench with those 3 fouls. Speaking of 3 fouls, Cam Brink back in the game. She'll inbounds the ball to her good friend Haley Jones.
What an all-over
defense.
jump.
Absolutely. That's a difference she can make. Might not always see in the box score, but defensively you do. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Jones will have to go. Missing off the glass. Buffs will take the ball.
So many Stanford possessions, 5-4-3, and just trying to create something because the walled-off Colorado defense just will not allow an open shot.
Jones had such a big first half for the Buffs. She scored 9. That's a long 3 from Sadler.
Oh, love to see Quay Miller just take it at Cameron Brink and see if she get number 4. Big, gigantic lineup on the floor for Stanford.
2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and there she is, Cameron Brink, and her first points of the game.
Welcome to Boulder, Cameron Brink.
Took her 28 minutes to get there. She's been on the bench for most of it, and the floater good.
She could feel Cameron Brink flying out at her, just put her head down and drove it.
7 points for Quay Miller and back on top.
I love the strategy. If Cameron Brink's on the floor and she's been sitting, let's get her some touches.
You wanted Quay to get fed, and finally she does.
Beautiful reaction. If you feel the defense coming forward at you, go right by her.
Down the lane and took it. Can Stanford answer? That has been the last couple minutes of back and forth. They answer by the Colorado product in Lauren Betts. She's at 4.
Boy, high-low, Cameron Brink to Lauren Betts. How are you going to stop that?
Unbelievably tough.
6'4" passer. Down low, 6'7". Vonleh doing her best without fouling. Betts says, I got this one.
Delay a game warning. In effect, Stanford up 33-32.
Just means you can't touch it when it goes through the net.
Sadler to her left. Fade away, and looks like it got tipped.
Oh, Sadler struggling. 0 for 6.
One of the pressure she might have put on herself today, starting for Frida Foreman. She's had such a productive last couple games for the Buffs. She led them in scoring with 12 points.
What up is not even thinking about helping, just face guarding, Hannah jump everywhere she goes.
Wide open and just numbers. Betts again.
Turns into a 4-on-4 game.
40 seconds to go in the quarter. Erin Vonleh turns and shoots. She got stuffed. And now she's on the floor kicking. Teammates will help her up.
Haley Jones. And as soon as she felt the commitment from Vonleh, that's when she passes it.
Burnett kind of limped around when she got up. She's going to head to the bench. Charlotte Whitaker will check in for CU.
Brink will sit. 38 seconds left in this quarter. Tara Vanderveer doesn't want her to get her 4th. But boy, was that a big lineup when you're talking about.
Huge.
Betts is out there. Dimitri's, she was not out there at that time. Fran, Haley, Cam, and Hannah. It's like...
It's almost like the bars on your cell phone. They just keep getting taller. She's had a pipeline here in Colorado recruiting some great athletes, and you just mentioned one of them in Lauren Betts, a 2-time Colorado Gatorade Player of the Year. Just a freshman. Ball inbounds. Jada Wynn to Miller. Defense on Miller, and she got another block. This time she takes it and she slowed up. I saw you going for it, Mary. You were ready for the big dunk.
Boy, the Levy has really been terrific defensively.
3-point lead for Stanford here. 5 seconds. Jump. Betts throws it up.
Stanford's bench, you'd think they just won the Pac-12 tournament title. They are involved.
Lauren Betts, have yourself a quarter.
Shot goes up. Betts again, the seal off. A little bit of a push and throws it up and uses the backboard.
Unbelievable play by Lauren Betts, who now has 8.
6-0 run by Stanford over the last minute 35.
They're going to take a look at when the foul occurred against the clock. But Betts is ready. She's ready for a 3-point play right now.
Well, they might see Betts with a little bit of a push-off as well. Shot goes up at the bottom of your screen. You see the movement by Whitaker as she feels the pressure from Betts. From behind, Jones. And Betts finds a way. Yeah, you're exactly right. Lauren Betts is like, anytime we would like to do free throws, I'm ready.
Born ready. I mean, this is the depth that Stanford has. Her 8 points coming in this quarter. All of a sudden, that's production from your bench. When you don't have a Cam Brink in, they're able to substitute, which is so nice.
But even if that's a miss, you could see Fran Believy just laying in wait if there was another miss. They are going to get Tayana Jones from the backside.
Selby Jones is first. That's his opportunity here to build the lead to 6 for Stanford. gets the roll.
Quite a homecoming.
So indeed, they do have their largest lead of the day at the buzzer here in the third quarter, 38-32. Lauren Betts, the freshman from Centennial, Colorado, coming up big for the Cardinals. Back in the Centennial State. Stanford coming alive here in the second half. Their third quarter totals 20 of their 38 points coming in those 10 minutes. 9 of those points coming from the freshman in Lauren Betts. She's a Colorado kid. She's enjoying playing back in the Centennial State.
Cam Brink in foul trouble. Lauren Betts says no problem. 9 points in 14 minutes. 4 of 7 from the floor. 4 offensive rebounds, an assist, a block shot. Similar to what she did Monday against UCLA, where she had 12 points in 14 minutes. Instant impact. And think about it. For so much of the season, in practice, you're working against Cameron Brink, Fran Believy, Kiki Uriafen, Ashton Prechtel. And now she's ready because she's worked against the best.
Stanford on a 7-0 run to end the third quarter. Final 10 minutes to go here. Stanford can beat the Buffs on the road. They will have at least a share of the Pac-12 regular season title before they head to Utah on Saturday. Sherrod for 3 gets swatted by all 6'7" of Lauren Betts. This is that big lineup that you were talking about once again.
Yeah, just it's ginormous. But you can really see Colorado missing Frida Foreman and just how well she shoots the 3, how she helps their movement in the perimeter inside the Betts.
Impact the perimeter game so much, and there she is. Cameron Brink, when she's on the floor today, she can score, she can defend, she can block.
Stanford playing their 3rd straight game against a nationally ranked team. Played Monday night, 1 day of practice, a slow first half. They have come out in this second half ready to roll.
Blame it on a 3 p.m. start, blame it on altitude, blame it on the schedule, whatever you want. They all of a sudden found themselves and showed up after halftime. Maybe it was that coffee that you were talking about.
Oranges, coffee, whatever they had in the locker room. But this is a highly motivated Stanford team. They want to win their 3rd straight Pac-12 regular season championship. It means a lot. Haley Jones will talk about it. We've got a checklist, and that's at the top of the list. That's where we start.
8-point lead for Stanford, 9-0 run. Sherrod trying to stop it.
See, there's just no kick out to Frida Foreman.
There's a kick out to Sherrod, and the Miller-Sherrod connection seems to work.
A basket they had to have. Now Colorado, you need to dig in defensively and try to shut down this high-low game.
Just the 3rd 3 on the day for the Buffs. Be a foul call on Weta against Hannah Jump.
Jalen Sherrod has worked so hard over the course of this season and the offseason on just becoming a much more efficient 3-point shooter. You see it there.
Her 18th made 3 this season. She had a big game against Stanford earlier this year, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. 9 today for Sherrod. There's a steal right there. Can she go coast to coast? She'll just use her speed over that height.
A veteran move, a smart move by Sherrod to cut in front of Cameron Brink so she cannot get that block shot. Well done.
First player on the floor in double figures at 11, a 3-point separation. Feet inside and a tip away from Miller. Six on the shot clock. Jones backing it in all the way to the bucket, and she'll miss it.
This is the Buffs of 2023. There is no backing down. In the past, they might have folded up. It doesn't happen anymore.
Back up top to Jones. She's been quiet here in the second half. Drop to Jones. Feed to Miller. 4 on the shot clock. She got double teamed underneath.
Colorado runs a foul on Brink.
So did the home crowd. Ball bouncing away, and you can see Brink and Jones not on the same page there. That's going to induce a timeout from Tara Vanderveer. That's not Stanford basketball. They're going to get on the same page. We got a great one here in Boulder. Stanford up 40-37 over the Buffs.
Dupixent helps you do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
At Prime Video, it's till death do us part.
Is that genetics or is it like Pilates?
And your ride or dies.
If you have good friends in your corner, anything's possible.
Finding what you love is easier than ever.
Drama returns.
Prime Video is where your favorite hit shows and top movies come together. Even add on other streamers like HBO Max and the one app that unites them all.
Hello, lovers.
Gaming after work is the only time you can. What would hit the spot right now, you wonder? Savory steak and bacon, grilled cheese sounds like a great plan. Melted cheese and Texas toast will solve your hunger. But you're not as good as you were at 14. Wow, kids online are really mean. Sonic steak and bacon, grilled cheese. Sonic.
Gatorade Fit. Fitness starts from the inside out. Get healthy, real hydration. And no added sugar, artificial sweeteners, or added colors. Gatorade Fit. Healthy, real hydration today helps you fuel tomorrow.
Pac-12 Women's Basketball is brought to you by Jockey, the official apparel and comfort brand of the Pac-12 Conference. Look for Jockey's Made in America collection at jockey.com. By Sprouts Farmers Market, the official grocer of the Pac-12. And by Principal, helping you plan, protect, invest, and retire. Back and forth, fourth quarter here. Stanford up 40-37. It's been a game of runs and big ones. Colorado opened this game on a 13-0 run. Stanford got right back in it. Look at the play now of Jalen Sherrod. This is the effect the Buffs can have with the steal and the speed.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking to do. Sherrod has all the scoring for Colorado in this fourth quarter. And this is why she came back. This is what it's all about for her, leading her team and just great energy. Kind of getting this game back to within 3 and a very winnable game and so much at stake.
We've had 8 steals today. In fact, Stanford's turned the ball over 13 times. They average 13.2 turnovers per game. And right there, you can just work at the ball inside. That's a veteran move by Haley Jones.
It's a great veteran move, and Haley Jones has been in attack mode. She's been fouled 7 times in this game. She's bringing her game to the Buffs.
First Cardinal in double figure with 10.
Speaking of bringing your game to somebody, Sherrod, that's just what she does. Love this play, high post, puts it on the floor. Hannah Jones doing her best, but that's just Haley Jones and what she does so well.
Polo picked up the foul. And another foul call, this time on Hannah Jones.
Greta and Jump have been going at it. The game within the game for those two, physical, scrappy.
They've definitely been after it.
Quay Miller, 7 points on 2 of 10 shooting, 0 for 3 from 2 to win this game. Quay Miller has really got to come alive offensively. It cannot all be on Sherrod.
High post. She attacks Dimitri, finds some space. She's double team wide open. Vonleh Miller. She's able to grab it. So the Miller to Vonleh connection.
Quay Miller being aggressive, forced the help, all that respect. Two-man game.
Jones on Jones. And there's some defense and some drama, but Brink coming up with a shot.
And that is a huge bucket for Stanford. Takes it back to a 5-point lead.
No answer on the other end, and now Stanford's chance to build.
Sherrod is still not back on the floor, so numbers for Stanford.
Dimitri, long 3. Jones tried to save it. She does to Sherrod, who's limping. You can tell she's in agony right now.
She flew out of bounds in what took a long time to get back up.
And they're going to have to call an injury timeout. She's right by the CU bench. She grabs her right ankle, and her coach, J.R. Payne, right there by her side.
Yeah, she was in with cameras.
The crowd will cheer her. That's a big miss when you're talking about Jalen Sherrod sitting on your bench. She's been so effective in so many different ways.
Yeah, here's the drive. She just picks it up, and she's off to the races at the other end. And you can see she's already grimacing.
There's inside to Miller, and there's the foul you were looking for her to induce. It's going to go on Fran Belibi, attacking the double team for Quay Miller.
Here's the injury. The drive by Sherrod. She falls into the area with the cameras. Somewhere in there.
We're still looking at her ankle as Quay Miller has free throws.
Never good when you take your sock off. Your shoe. She's putting them back on. Tough to keep her out of a ball game.
Especially when you're already down to Freedom Foreman. Not what you want. Quay Miller with 9, making her free throws.
Stand the pressure. 2-2-1 full court.
And there it is, right to Miller. Lofty points off turnovers, more than they ever had in this game. How about Fran getting right in there? Oh, they're going to call it Stanford's ball. What an aggressive play.
Saying it is off Quay Miller. Gets in there, gets a piece of it.
With Guetta's hand,
Sure
last
did.
touched it.
One more look. Good one could go either way. But the refs were very definitive with their call.
Crowd getting restless and into it now.
Well, that's a big change of possession.
Whistle.
The ability to invert your offense, put Haley Jones down on the block and say, we're going one-on-one with whatever you could throw at us. The 8th time Haley Jones has been fouled.
This is good news as Jalen Sherrod checks back in the game, and Sadler will come out.
Colorado's second team foul. Stanford's got 3.
Brianna Jones. Jones to Brink. Completion. She has a 5-point lead. Sherrod and her speed. Good to know. She's testing the ankle there.
Just a different.
home game here as a Buck. She'll be celebrated again against Cal on Saturday, the only senior that will take the celebration, meaning perhaps Jalen Sherrod, Quay Miller, we'll see the return of them, and Charlotte Whitaker will be coming back.
Boy, the free throw line for Stanford turning into a struggle.
Haley Jones knocked down the second, so still one possession game, 3-point lead for Stanford.
Sometimes that's where fatigue can start showing up.
18 for Haley Jones. Sherrod out to win. They'll feed Aaronette Vonleh. Working the perimeter. Quay Miller short on the three.
Well, she was due for a three, wasn't she? It was a good look.
0 for 5 from three-point range. She struggled to make her field goals today. Just 3 for 16. 17 points. Most of those coming from the free throw line.
Please come get the ball.
You can get a wide open look, but not her shot. Jones pulls up and...
But did you see how much more space she had? Wynn just could not hang with her.
Sherrod with the speed. She'll draw the foul. It'll go on Haley Jones, her fourth.
And there's like no chance this shot's going in, but Sherrod just trying to get to the line. Set the screen, Fran Belibi, and now it's just Haley Jones with just an extra foot. That's all she needs.
For the last 6 games now, Haley Jones has scored at least 18 points. She has 20 in the contest today. Sherrod gets the roll. We're in foul trouble on the floor. Haley has 4. Levy has 4. And Sherrod has 4.
For pressure. That is a nice pressure release. She had 6-7.
Yeah. 2:20 to go. Second overtime here in Boulder. These two teams sure love to go to overtime. Sherrod looks for the steal. They call the whistle underneath, though.
Offensive foul on Betts. Down low. Betts trying to get position. You know, as physical as this game's been, okay, but wow.
Sherrod had eyes in the back of her head. She had that breakaway, man. She was ready for it. Buffs down by 3. I mean, remember way back when in the first quarter when they were flying back and forth? Fast-paced game. Colorado tried to wear Stanford down early. They took a 13-0 lead. Stanford came back in the second quarter, led into the third.
Haley Jones guarding Vonleh. She's got 4 personal fouls.
Vonleh the dribble and up too hard. And Belibi with the board.
That was dangerous for Haley Jones. Great decision to get it inside.
8 rebounds for Belibi. Jones had an open lane, and the whistle will stop play. Sherrod looks like she's hurt.
She's been hurt for a lot of this second half after she went flying. Sherrod trying to play a little catch-up. She just catches her foot on Haley Jones and turns that right ankle.
Jones knocks it down for 21. 8 of 11 from the line today. 5-point lead.
Must-have point possession for Colorado.
We've seen 11 lead changes, 9 ties in this game. Shout out to Weta. That's going to go off of her, and very frustrated will be Jada Weta, or Jada Wynn, excuse me.
Offense to defense substitutions by Stanford.
Lost offensive possession for Colorado. They'll put the pressure on here.
Haley Jones will have Jalen Sherrod matched up with her. 2 great great players.
What a impressive defense after Jones picked the ball up.
Great
They'll get it
decision.
over, yeah. To the corner. Three ball, good.
Hit the pressure release valve. That would be you, Hannah Jump.
14 points for Hannah Jump. Huge bucket. Feels like a dagger, but under a minute to go feels like a lot of time here. Stanford up by 8, 70-62. Huge three, bigger reaction. Second overtime has been all Stanford, 70-62 over the Buffs, and they have gotten some big time shots, including this three from Hannah Jump.
Absolutely. The greatness of Haley Jones to get her the ball. She's been so well defended, but 5 of 9, 4 of 6 from 3. She has not been open at all because of the job of Kendall Wetta. Wetta nowhere in sight. But the greatness of Haley Jones. She has played 49 minutes, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, the double-double for Haley Jones.
Stanford has made more field goals here in the double overtime than they did in the entire first half. They had just 6 field goals made to the 7 they've made here.
Got to get some shots up.
Ray Miller will drive. She'll pull it up and way short. Jones will come up with it. 45 seconds to go. And the Bucks will foul. Stop the clock and put Haley Jones on the line. Well, it felt like CU had plenty of opportunities today with Cameron Brink sitting on the bench for a lot of this in foul trouble.
So much of the game. Well, this is what you expect from your All-American. Haley Jones. Brink sits. But how about the job of Lauren Betts? 29 minutes. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of them offensive.
On a drive. Pulls out to Sherrod. Fake the shot. And a miss. Stanford with the board and the foul on Queen Miller at 26.1 seconds. Both teams absolutely fight to the finish here.
Sherrod just sort of smacking her leg like, I cannot believe we have let this opportunity just slip away.
Often misses a free throw. Waddell take it down for the Buffs. She'll pop a 3. No good. And Stanford will take it over inside, and now just an easy bucket for Erie Offense.
Boy, when you look at this final score, you will have no idea of the battle it was here in Boulder.
Huge battle for the visitors, who have been road tested the last couple of weeks in the Pac-12, and they have one more test coming at Utah, but they at least have a share of the Pac-12 title once again. The Stanford Cardinal coming up victorious, 73-62 in double overtime from the Buffs. Woo!
Impressive win by Stanford considering what their week has been like, but for Colorado, learned a lot about this team. They have a deep reservoir of perseverance, and I wouldn't want to play them in a Pac-12 tournament, an NCAA tournament. They are here to stay at the top of the Pac-12.
They will finish off with Cal and Senior Day on Saturday here at the CU Event Center. But it's the Stanford Cardinal and their show today in double overtime, a 73-62 win. For Mary Murphy and our entire Pac-12 Networks crew, I'm Jenny Kavnar saying so long from Boulder.
And we welcome